Godzilla vs. Biollante is a difficult film to describe, and I'm going to get a lot of flack from the Godzilla fanbase for saying this, but it's very basic and generic if I'm being completely honest. Now, before you get into a hissy fit, let's run through the reasons why, because this movie isn't without its merits. Now, most of the sound design in this film is copied over from Godzilla 1984, so that already bumps it down a bit for me, but hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Yet, the sound design for Biollante's roar is on point, creating majestic yet creepy sounding roar, kind of like a cross between a whale and Godzilla. Overall, the sound design gets a 7 from me. It's very basic, but some sounds are done really well. What can I say about the story? Well, it's very basic and bland if I'm honest. There are some creative elements in it, like accidentally creating Biollante out of a mix of Godzilla cells and plant cells. But the rest is really quite boring if I'm honest. It was interesting to see Japan after the attack from Godzilla, and see how the country rebuilt. And spoilers here, but at the end when the doctor gets shot by an assassin, I genuinely gasped, which I do little of. It was set up and I didn't see it coming, and that is absolutely brilliant. But sadly, it's not enough to save this boring story. Overall, 6 out of 10. The characters in this movie are as bland as can be. There's literally one character who has an arc, and that's the Doctor. He learns that the scientific research of powerful weapons will only cause the human race pain, and the scientists that create these weapons are the true monsters. Nice sentiment, yet the rest of the characters are boring, and I didn't really care overall, and it didn't really carry over the message very well. Overall, 5 out of 10. Now we get to the good stuff. The budget in this movie went up by a lot, and they want to show you that in this action. They use a lot of the same techniques from the previous movie, but they have made massive improvements on everything. It was fun to see Godzilla fight Biollante, and sometimes it got very brutal. There's even gunfights between humans which are very fun to watch as well. Overall, action gets an 8 out of 10. Brilliant. The special effects in this movie are great, and the same with the action, they have been improved significantly. I love the blood splattering everywhere after a brutal hit in a fight. It really shows that these monsters are being hurt. The visual effects have been improved significantly too, but the real highlight is Godzilla and Biollante. This Godzilla design is by far my favourite, and they keep it for the rest of the Heisei era. The suit is very well made and even has a moving tongue. And Biollante's design is brilliant. She is terrifying, and you can tell she is a relative to Godzilla, except mixed with plant DNA, and even her scales resemble Godzilla's dorsal plates. Her puppet required a lot of people to operate it too, and is definitely worth it. I can see how she is a fan favourite monster. Special effects gets an 8 out of 10. Koichi Sugiyama composed this score, and I have to say, I'm happy with it, but it's not amazing by any stretch. Where Godzilla 1984 completely redid Godzilla's theme, using none of the original music, Godzilla vs. Biollante revamps the original classic themes, which sound great, but a lot of the songs can be really forgettable, and that's really bad. I also feel it's better for a movie to create its own soundtrack, instead of relying on the work of others. But all in all, it's not too bad. Soundtrack gets a 6 out of 10 from me. In conclusion, this film's good, but not amazing. And I can see why a lot of people would like it. But I just think there's better films in the Heisei era that do what this film does times 10. And I'm happy I'll be reviewing a good one next. Overall, Godzilla vs. Biollante gets a 6 out of 10 from me. See it, but don't expect anything great. Thanks for watching. If you have any criticisms, please leave them in the comments below, or alternatively contact me through my Instagram, which is in my channel description. I hope you enjoyed and will join me next time for